is a special edition of 9 News at 10. The shooting at Columbine High School in Littleton.
We received reports of numerous shots being fired inside the school.
The suspects had 3 grenades.
All you hear is like firecrackers.
Well, we're taking 2 in now.
I can't put my dad everywhere, my mom everywhere. And you could hear like bombs and shotguns going off.
We're paramedics right now. Emergency code 10.
They're okay. Oh, God.
The number of those fatalities is unknown right now.
As if we all wanted to die.
Suspects have been found inside the building and are dead.
To the people of the community of Littleton, I can only say tonight that the prayers of the American people are with you.
A shooting at a high school in Littleton leaves at least 15 dead, possibly as many as 25, and a community and a country in shock. Good evening. I'm Adele Arakawa in Littleton.
I'm Jim Benneman. And I'm Ed Sardella. It's another school shooting, but this time it happened here. It was at Columbine High School at 6201 South Pierce in Jefferson County, east of Wadsworth, between Bowles and Coal Mine. We'll begin our reports on the shooting with the terror that started just after 11 this morning.
Okay, I'm with the SWAT team. We need paramedics right now. Emergency code 10.
Code 10 at Columbine High School means get there as fast as you can. There is shooting, explosions, students are down. It's 11:30 this morning. Even after sheriff's deputies got there, they hear shooting and they call for help. Parents rush to the school looking for their children, but they too are forced to take cover. It's chaotic and bloody.
There have been shots fired in the gym area.
SWAT teams and officers from all over the metro area respond to the call for help. Then come the ambulances and the medical helicopters. The injured are taken to hospitals. Students run from their school, their hands in the air to show officers they aren't armed.
They just said they were doing it because they were last year's students or something. And something about the jocks were mean to them and they got bad grades and for Columbine putting them through hell. And,
Students and teachers, some critically injured, wait for hours inside, not knowing if it's safe to come out. Then the sheriff confirms everyone's worst fears.
We do have some fatalities.
2 students in black coats did the shooting. They're found dead in the library. They had come with guns and bombs.
Our explosives that were found in the school and outside of the school, as well as at one of the suspects' houses, a device was found over there. I've heard radio traffic that there was detonable devices on one of the suspects.
At noon, 2 young men are taken into custody for questioning. They are friends of the shooters, and investigators want to know if they knew about the attack. Right there by 2 o'clock, the danger is over, but not parents' fears. They gather at a library and at Leewood Elementary School.
Who are you looking for? Jody Klaus. She's your daughter. What year is she?
Sophomore.
And how long have you been here?
Oh, 2 hours.
And you still haven't found her?
No.
There are tears, shock, and sadness. Finally, the lucky ones are safe in their parents' arms.
If it's finally reunited and hooked back up?
A thumbs up from a father who found his daughter. But many parents won't be so fortunate.
There is still no count of those killed, no confirmed count at least, and few confirmations of the victims' identities. Adele Arakawa is near Columbine High School. Adele, we have reported on school shootings across the country more than we want to, but the impact is so much greater when it happens close to home.
And the number of the dead that we are hearing is certainly horrifying, to say the least. The latest we can report from you from our vantage point this evening is that we have heard reports of explosions near the school. Those explosions, we are told, are the SWAT team detonating devices that they have found inside the school. At this point, all the bodies are still inside. This all began outside the school. We're going to show you a diagram, the layout of the school. Apparently, according to witnesses, the 2 gunmen entered near the cafeteria on the first floor. They fired outside the school, then they went inside, began shooting rounds there, then went up to the library on the 2nd floor, which is directly above the cafeteria, and began shooting there. The 2 suspects are believed to be members of a group called Trenchcoats Mafia. We are told there were 10 to possibly 12 students who were members of that group. We're also told that most of those students were not involved. Ward Lucas has been tracking this group both in person and on the internet and joins us now from the newsroom. Ward, what have you found?
Well, Adele, there are indications that at least one member of the group, Eric Harris, may have put warnings out that he was going to do something on this day. On his AOL profile, it says his hobbies are playing Doom, and then he says, "Shut up and shoot, quit whining, it's just a flesh wound," and then the very chilling phrase, "kill 'em all."
Police and bomb squad officers descended on the Harris house this afternoon in the 8200 block of South Reed Street. The police commander on the scene told us it's a very volatile scene, but wouldn't tell us what they found. We've learned that police may have been warned a year ago that Eric Harris was violent, had threatened to kill another student, Brooks Brown, and had even posted a hit list on his website listing Brown as the first of 10 people he would like to kill. The Brown family claims they even told police that Eric Harris was building pipe bombs in his basement and detonating them around the Littleton area.
They came by 3 times, and they went and talked to his parents 3 times, and that was that.
Coincidentally, Brooks passed right by Eric Harris at the school moments before the shooting broke out.
And I walked over, and I was, like, joking with him, like, "You weren't in third hour, man. We had a test today." And he said, "I don't think that matters now." And I was like, "What?" I was like, thought he was, like, acting weird again. And he said, "Brooks, I like you. Get out of here. Go home." And I was like, what the hell? But I know not to screw with him because he's really not the nicest person in the world. And so I started walking down Pierce, and I started hearing gunshots go off.
There is a photo in last year's Columbine yearbook entitled The Trenchcoat Mafia. Neither of the 2 suspects in today's shooting was in that photo. However, kids at the school tell us they all hung around together. Brooks Brown says Eric Harris and some of his trenchcoat friends were very big on trying to intimidate others.
They're all being on, like, anti-God, Satanism. They're really just pure hate is the way the entire group is. I know all of them. I'm acquaintances with all of them. I wouldn't say friends, but, I mean, I don't, like, reject them, but they're all, like, hateful.
The Trenchcoat gang apparently listened to German music. They spoke German, according to some of their friends. They had a fascination with World War II. It's a rather odd and disquieting coincidence that today is Adolf Hitler's birthday. Whether or not that is connected is unknown at this point, but police are obviously going to be looking at every single possible angle, trying to figure out what was going on in the minds of these 2 people as they carried out this atrocity. One other thing that we saw on one of the AOL profiles, we don't know how this person is connected, but he says in his profile, "Trenchcoat Mafia all the way, we will strike on 4/20. Another chilling, and then he also says, "Evil will always triumph because good is dumb," a quote from Spaceballs. So it's just a very disquieting thing and a horrible atrocity in Littleton.
All right. Ward Lucas, thank you very much. Many churches throughout the Denver metro area have organized vigils for this evening. One of the largest is near the high school. It's the Light of the World Catholic Church. 9 News reporter Tim Christensen joins us from there. Tim, the community is devastated by what's happened, and I'm sure they feel a need to come together.
Absolutely, Adele. In fact, the tears are really just beginning to flow, and so many members of the community came here tonight. People that live in the area, neighbors, underclassmen, middle school students that would have attended Columbine High School later on in life. Many of the students and the parents, they really felt the need to be here together to comfort one another, to find some kind of peace in the midst of this. We're going to take a moment to look back at tonight's service.
This is truly the saddest thing that I have done in my life. But I welcome you here, and I hope that we can find solace by sharing our grief together. We are gathered together in God's arms. We are whole. We are in pain, but we are whole. And He will raise you up on eagle's wings, bear you on the brow of God.
This is a day that will be alive in our hearts and minds forever in this community.
People talking about prom, people laughing about who they are afraid to ask and who they should have asked and who they should have gone with. The very point is that we are safe nowhere. Every one of us faces a day like today, every day of the year.
So many of these young people we talked to tonight say they really feel helpless, but they also feel the need to be around one another, to tell each other what they mean to each other at a time like this. There are many services organized for tomorrow. We're going to take a look at some of them on your screen right now. Foothills Bible Church has services at 1 and 7. That's at Bowles and C470. Immaculate Heart of Mary has services at 7:30, and that church is in North Glen. Abiding Hope Lutheran Church near Coal Mine and Sims has services at 7 o'clock tomorrow night. Crossroads Church in North Glen has a service at 6:30. Columbine Church of Christ has a service at 7 o'clock. Hope United Methodist Greenwood Village, that church is open all day long for prayer from 8 a.m. till 8 p.m. Our Faith Lutheran Church on South Holly has a service at 7 o'clock. Greenwood Community Church also has a service at 7 o'clock. Mile High Church at Alameda and Garrison has a service at 7 o'clock. And Living Way Fellowship in Littleton has a service at 7 o'clock. Of course, we're going to see many services in the days and the weeks to come, and many people here tonight say they really felt the need to be here. Many parents brought their younger children here as well. We even talked to graduates of Columbine High School, Adele, who said they really wanted to be here tonight. They wanted to express their grief because they know there are going to be many more tears that are going to be shed, but most importantly, they want this community and everyone to know that they care about one another. And many, I'm sure, will be asking for prayers as well. Thanks a lot, Kim. At least 17 people were taken to 6 area hospitals following the shootings. 9 News reporter Erica Wellner joins us now from Denver Health Medical Center, where 4 of the victims were taken. Erica, how are they doing?
Well, I do have updated conditions on some of the students who were taken to 2 different hospitals. I know many people are concerned about these kids, so I want to give you their names and latest available conditions right now. The 4 students at Swedish Medical Centre are 18-year-old Valerie Schnurr. She's in stable condition. 17-year-old Anne Marie Hochhalter is in critical condition in the intensive care unit. 15-year-old Sean Graves is in stable but guarded condition. 17-year-old Richard Castaldo also in critical condition. Now, as for the 4 students at Denver Health Medical Center, they are 17-year-old Mark Kingen. He is in serious condition. 18-year-old Lisa Krutez. She is still in surgery. Orthopedic surgeons are working on her wrist at the moment. They also worked on her leg and shoulder. We've been told, though, her injuries do not appear life-threatening. There is also a 16-year-old male in critical but stable and an 18-year-old female in fair condition. Their names are not being released at their parents' request. I am going to give you a couple of telephone numbers in just a moment. If these are friends of yours or you want to keep checking on their conditions, get a pen and paper ready for those phone numbers. And just a little while ago, we spoke with some doctors and paramedics who were on the scene, many of them still shaken up, especially Dr. Chris Colwell, who pronounced 15 kids dead today.
I don't know how you describe the worst thing you've ever experienced in your life.
Dr. Chris Colwell says he walked into the school library and entered a battle zone.
I pronounced 15 people dead. 2 outside and 13 inside, 2 of which appeared to be shooters.
Dr. Colwell says most of the wounds appeared to be large caliber and at close range. Other students, many with multiple gunshot wounds, were taken to area hospitals, lucky to be among the survivors. Now, if you want to keep checking on your friends at Swedish or at Denver Health Medical Center, we're going to put some phone numbers up on your screen. The number at Swedish Medical Center, 303-788-5600. The number at Denver Health Medical Center, 303-436-8242. These are recordings with the victims' conditions. They will be updated daily or as conditions change. The reason they're really putting these recordings out is that the hospitals want to discourage people from calling the families and from coming down here. There's just too much going on, too many people, too much commotion, and the focus right now is healing these children. So they don't want people to come down, and they don't want people to send flowers for the same reason. Just too much going on here, and those students in intensive care can't have flowers in that unit anyway. So if you want to send something, send cards, letters, posters, messages, send something That's what the hospital spokespeople say would be very encouraging right now and good for the parents, is to send some notes and cards and well, good wishes. Adele?
All right, Erica Wilner at Denver Health Medical Center. In the confusion and in the panic of the moments after the shooting began, many parents didn't know where to go. Police directed them to Leewood Elementary, told them to go there and wait for word, and hopefully they would be reunited with their daughters or their sons. 9 News reporter Phil Keating joined us from Leewood Elementary, where there were some very emotional reunions today. Phil?
There certainly were, but then tonight at about 7 o'clock, the coroner entered the gymnasium to speak with the parents who were still in there, who had still not made contact with their missing sons and daughters, but had been spending hour after hour waiting and hoping. And that's when that hope drastically diminished, as the coroner then asked those parents the kinds of questions no parent ever wants to have to answer. Things like, can you provide some dental records and fingerprints of your son or daughter, as well as a description of what he or she was wearing today to go to school, so we can perhaps better and faster identify the bodies in the library. As you can imagine, that was some of the toughest things for those parents to hear, but all day long here, it was extremely tough for the parents.
For every surviving student on these buses, there was a parent on the sidewalk waiting and desperately hoping that their son or daughter was on board and alive. Parents like Eric Smith.
Please, please, please let him be on this bus. Did you find him?
Yeah.
Where is he?
These are the happiest of tears. These are the worst kind. On the front door of Leewood Elementary, the official rendezvous for Columbine High Schoolers and their parents, pages with lists of names of students who were accounted for. Eventually, most parents reunited with their children, including Eric Smith, whose sophomore son David finally showed up.
Well, you see a smile on my face, don't you? So,
Daddy's okay. Thank God.
thank somebody at this point.
But despite the strongest hopes, there are numerous Columbine High School families that tonight are forever shattered.
And the parents here have been told that the names of the victims found in the library will not likely be made public until tomorrow, so those parents will not hear what many of them fear they will hear until tomorrow. So the parents who had been remaining here in the gymnasium tonight have been encouraged to go on home, and really the best way to describe their emotional state is one of numbness. Adele, back to you.
All right, Phil Keating, thank you very much. And the bodies do remain inside the school. The latest information we have is it could be the very early morning hours before they remove the bodies. Ed and Jim, back to you.
Thanks, Adele.
There's been a call out in the community for all kinds of help, whether it be counseling or blood donations, and people have really come through. We'll have more about that as our coverage continues tonight.
And you can get continuing coverage through the night on our 9 News website at 9news.com.
We can also tell you that through that 9 News website, we've got more information as to how people can help, specifically information about the blood drives and some of the other information that we can tell you about tonight.
We'll take a break. We'll be right back.
There's like firecrackers, and then I looked out the window, and there's a kid with a trench coat and a shotgun throwing pipe bombs in the parking lot.
There's like a bang, and everyone looked outside, and a ton of people just dropped to the floor. And I saw a kid, he was running away, he was holding his leg, and he was bleeding pretty bad.
They all told us to get down because there was gunshots, and we all got down, and we crawled out, and we all ran just across the street, and you could still hear the gunshots going off as we were going. This can't be happening to our school. I know, we don't. Oh, I don't know. We should be safe at school.
We are back with our special continuing coverage of the shootings, the massacre at Columbine High School today. People at the Jefferson County Sheriff's Office, specifically Steve Davis, their spokesman, have been providing frequent updates. There's one going on right now at the school. It's contained to one particular room. That's unknown, but I don't have any information that tells me every victim was a student or every victim was a faculty. I would expect some of each. I have no information about the suspect's parents or even if they've been spoken to. We really don't. To say we have a motive would be very inaccurate. Right now we have investigators from our department and some assisting agencies that are executing search warrants at the residence of both of the suspects. And as I was saying earlier, there were some explosive ingredients, if not devices, found at least one of those residences.
Search warrants you found in letters, notes,
I'm not aware of any notes or anything like that, no.
Can you relay anything that the associates of these youths have told you about possible motives?
Absolutely not. Any statements made by those people at this time certainly would be something I can't comment on.
Based on what you saw from this SWAT team, heard from them, any sense whether it's systematic or random? How would you describe?
You talking about the victims? It's hard to say if it was systematic or random. There have been some reports that some of the victims appeared like they had crawled under desks or chairs or anything that they could get under to avoid the confrontation that was going on in the school. And once again, that information is strictly coming from some of the SWAT team members that were inside, and I think it'll take some time for the investigators to piece that together where we can...
Have you heard where many of them shot close range or just from way back, spraying the bullets?
Yeah, that's unknown. It's also unknown how many victims may have suffered fatal wounds from gunshots or how many may have suffered fatal wounds from the explosive devices that we heard inside.
What kind of guns were they using?
That's unknown right now.
Has there been any kind of device that's not a pipe bomb?
Not that I'm aware of. Not that I'm aware of.
There were early reports about grenades.
I heard some reports about grenades. Again, certainly a possibility, but I sure don't know that to confirm it.
As far as the explosives, were they crude homemade type? Were they pretty well engineered? Do you know how many have been disarmed so far?
I don't know how many have been disarmed because they're working on them right now, but as far as I know, they were crudely made pipe bombs. They're the only ones that we've seen so far.
Could the parents be considered accomplices if the explosives or any ammunition or anything came from their parents' personal stock?
Certainly parents or anyone that our investigation shows to be involved, if they supplied those ingredients or helped manufacture those devices, certainly charges could come against those people.
Even if there was no intention of
certainly, yeah, explosives, just the possession of them.
The two associates or friends, they're being questioned, interviewed. Are they being detained? Are they being arrested?
No, they have not been arrested. And quite frankly, I don't know. I haven't checked in quite some time to see if they are even still in our custody. But it was made clear to me by some of the investigators that they have not been called a suspect. They have not been charged. They have not been arrested. They were simply being interviewed.
Dan said that they would be scaling back what is going on in the school tonight. Can you tell us what will be the scope of the...
I would expect, like I said, once the bomb team is finished, I would expect that SWAT team to go in on their sweep, and once they clear that building and they tell us that it is safe to send our investigators in, I think it'll kind of wind down then. I think you'll see a lot of the personnel that are stationed around the area probably go ahead and go home. As far as law enforcement personnel, we will still have quite a number.
We were watching a spokesman for the Jefferson County Sheriff's Department, Steve Davis, giving one of his many updates throughout the course of the afternoon and evening on the massacres, the shootings out at Columbine High School today, and Detective Davis saying that it could be a while before they're able to get those investigators in. And he said at that point, we just heard him say that so many of the people who have been working overtime, double time, trying to maintain order out there will probably be sent home to get a good night's rest. We'll get more from Adele Arakawa at the scene in just a moment.
Governor Owens visited Leawood Elementary School today. That is where parents and kids from Columbine went and gathered to look for one another. And they talked about what happened today, and Governor Owens was also there. He says what happened today should make all of us think about the values we are teaching our children.
Now, we have to ask ourselves, what kind of children are we raising when there's a pattern of children across this country who are doing this to other children and to adults? And there really is. It's a culture of violence that we all have to ask ourselves the question, are we part of it? Have we done all we can? And in some cases, perhaps we haven't.
President Clinton spoke about the shootings carefully, preferring to wait until more facts are known before he makes specific comments. He says he's been to the Columbine community, and he can't imagine such a terrible thing happening there. And he said his and Hillary's thoughts are with the families of the victims.
To the families who have lost their loved ones, to the parents who have lost their beloved children, to the wounded children and their families, to the people of the community of Littleton. I can only say tonight that the prayers of the American people are with you.
The President is sending a federal crisis response team to help families, students, and faculty members with the grieving process. And there are reports that the President himself may come to Colorado tomorrow. That's not confirmed.
Right now, we're going to send it back to Columbine High School. 9 News anchor Adele Arakawa anchoring our coverage from the scene tonight. Adele, what can you tell us at this point?
Well, obviously, it's been a very traumatic day for both students and parents here at Columbine High School, and the trauma will not end tonight. It will continue for days to come. The latest information we'll recap for you that we do have. At this hour, 15 people are confirmed dead. That number could go as high as 25. 17 people are being treated at metro area hospitals at this hour. At least 3 have been treated and released since the shooting. Police tell us 2 students were the suspects. They are among the dead. They believe they died of self-inflicted gunshot wounds. Eric Harris is one of the suspects, a student at Columbine High School. The identity of the second suspect has not been confirmed by police. We know that one young man was taken into custody. Police are not calling him a suspect, and they're not saying that they arrested him. They say they are simply questioning him at this point. He may have been an acquaintance of one of the gunmen. 9 News reporter Heather Cabot joins us now from the Columbine Library. Heather, we understand that many students ran to the library, which is nearby the high school, for safety.
That's right, Adele. And we actually arrived on the scene just minutes after the shooting. Parents were eventually diverted from the library to Leeward Elementary School, which is actually where I'm standing right now. They were diverted here right around 4 o'clock. But as I said, we arrived on the scene at the library just shortly after the shooting.
We have 13 or 14 students that have been shot at Columbine High School.
Minutes after students scattered from the high school, many sought safety at the nearby library.
How do I go? Which way do I go? They're okay.
Okay, here's a list of people. I need to start reading names. Amy Stone, Chris Carlstad.
Kids signed in as they arrived. Parents and students scanned the crowd and the list.
You're waiting for a list. They're going to fax this one within a few minutes.
And did all they could do. Wait.
I'm waiting for my mom right now. I don't know, I'm pretty upset because this is like crazy stuff. And then I'm just wondering why they came to my school.
As kids streamed in throughout the afternoon, so did a trickle of information.
Black trench coats with their hands over their heads.
Maybe, perhaps, they're involved.
We were outside in the parking lot about 50 yards away from where it was happening, and a girl was laying against the curb who had been shot in her leg, and then another kid was laying face down, I think he was laying face down, at the bottom of the stairs, and he was shot in the back.
It has hit me because my daughter's still missing, and I have heard that someone just saw her on television, and I'm trying to be relieved and hope that it's true.
Even as some families finally found each other, disbelief at the shooting compounded the worries of others. So there really was a sense of disbelief, as you could see, just minutes after that shooting happened. An update for you. We just spoke with Jefferson County Public Schools a little while ago, and as far as those lists go, they are trying to cross-index them and compile a master list of the kids who are safe, and they are going to be working on that throughout the night. And you can call the school district to get that information, but people will be on the phone standing by throughout the night on taking in information, and again, they will be working to come up with one master list so parents who have not been reunited with their kids yet can actually check in. Adele?
All right, Heather Cabot at Leeward Elementary, thank you very much. So, Jim and Ed, we'll take it back to you now, and we'll talk to you again in just a bit.
All right, Adele, we'll see you later. Thank you.
Bonfils Blood Center had to turn some people away tonight. Things just got so busy for them, but the special donation program for the shooting victims will continue all week. People at least 18 years old can donate blood, and 17-year-olds can too if they can get their parents' consent. Donors must weigh at least 110 pounds, be in good health, and you cannot have donated blood within the past 56 days. Now, Bonfils has a 24-hour-a-day information number. You can call to get information on the sites across the metro area. There it is, 303-366-2000. Your donation to help the shooting victims, if you go in to donate, should be designated with the group number. The group number for the Columbine group is 380.
We want to tell you about the changes in our program schedule again tonight. After 9 News, which will end here in just a few moments, we're going to continue our coverage with a 9 News special on the Columbine shooting. That will last until approximately midnight. And then you will see the Tonight Show in its entirety right after our coverage. We'll be right back.
Two of the gunmen kind of started coming around. One of them just opened with his big cape and had a big shotgun and started firing. And like I said, one grazed my head, and I just rolled back into the door. And finally, I started figuring out these guys shot to kill for no reason.